I'm live. It's a beautiful 2nd of February 2025. I have read this book before, Prelude to the Landing on Planet Earth, written by STUART HOLROYD, who was born in 1933. This book was published in 1977. It was fascinating. I read it aloud, but I did not upload it on my YouTube channel here, my new one, and I decided to read it again. As you do sometimes. 5 years is quite a long time, and these were quite significant 5 years. So I decided to read it again. Prelude to the Landing on Planet Earth is a collaboration. It says here in the sleeve note, either the most bizarre thing happening on the planet today, or the most important, was how a distinguished scientist described the story that this book tells. It begins at Ossining, a small self-contained estate not far from New York, where a group of people, including a scientist, an English aristocrat, and 4 psychics, have spent the last few years communicating with extraterrestrials who wish to make contact with Earth. It has been suggested that they might use psychic channels to make such contact, or even intervene on our televisions or radios. This book is based on some 200 hours of these communications. Stuart HOLROYD brings a skeptical, informed, and open mind to the task of expounding and assessing this material, and in doing so unfolds an astonishing and gripping narrative. Here is information that challenges established beliefs of scientists, historians, anthropologists, and theologians. Here are exposures of political machinations, rumors of wars, and grounds to hope for lasting peace in the world. Here, too, is a human story of 3 temperamentally different people yoked together in a strange and exacting mission, and of the conflicts that arise when they are under stress and under a cosmic microscope. It is a story that forces us to consider that personal change in each of us is perhaps essential to human survival, and which suggests that man may be on the threshold of a dramatic and transforming event that could be the most important ever to take place on planet Earth. As I said, this was published 1977, and I am starting with the author's note. This book is about people going through a very testing and unusual experience, and I want to express my appreciation to the principals, both for their unstinting cooperation and for permitting the personal aspects of the story to be told. One problem in writing about contemporary events of this kind is that words tend to fix and finalize things, and I should like to stress that this is an ongoing story, that in the 2 years that have elapsed since the events have been reported, some of the people involved have undergone considerable and beneficial personal changes as a result of their experiences and their strange guidance. Others have chosen to drop into the background. However, in these 2 years, these communications have continued, further elaborating the themes introduced in this book and broaching some new ones. The book is only the beginning, and a book of the extraordinary events and communications subsequent to the April 1975 climacteric will follow. To reproduce verbatim the material on which the book is based would require 3 or 4 volumes of the present length, so the material as presented in these pages is edited. I have omitted repetitions and some digressions, and have tidied up grammar and syntax where necessary, simply in order to make the narrative readable and to include as much of the very varied material as possible. My thanks are due to Nadal de Lolanda and Mark H. Incorporated of Miami for permission to quote from their publication, Visitors from Other Planets, and to Brad Steiger and Prentice Hall Incorporated of Eaglewood Cliffs, New Jersey, for permission to quote from Revelation, The Divine Fire by Brett Steiger. Here is a quote from Revelation 10, verse 10-11. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples, and nations, and tongues, and kings. So this was the sleeve note, and chapter 1. Let me see how long it is. I might read chapter 1. No, I keep this separate. Chapter 1 will be the second reading. Today is the 2nd of February, 2025.